A suspected drug dealer will have to stand trial in Scottsbluff County District Court on distribution charges after losing a motion with the Nebraska Court of Appeals. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, a 24-year-old Colorado man will have to face charges in Scottsbluff County after losing a plea to the Nebraska Court of Appeals. Hayden Beimiller was the target of a Wing Drug Task Force investigation in 2021, where he reportedly sold cocaine and acid to a confidential informant. He appealed that his right to a speedy trial was violated, but a recent ruling from the appellate court stated that the court did not err by failing to consider Beimiller's motion for absolute discharge. He now has a February 12th pre-trial conference as he awaits to stand trial on 3 Class 2 felony charges of distribution of a controlled substance. Well, nestled in Morrill County, the cattle that call Schuler Red Angus home are part of a much larger story. For 5 generations, the Schuler family has moved forward with grit, perseverance, and a dedication to the land. For the past 3 generations, this has included owning and operating a commercial cow-calf operation. Additionally, Schuler Red Angus provides dependable genetics for cattlemen through seed stock and their annual bull sale. Rural Radio Network's Bryce Duskett caught up with David Schuler, who could not help but reflect on his family history with awe.
Welcome back to another episode of the Building Nebraska podcast. It's a podcast for both dreamers and doers, where we ignite your passion for entrepreneurship right here on the show by showcasing those who are out there in the field getting it done. This program is brought to you by the Angler Agribusiness Entrepreneurship Program, which is located at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. We're near Redington, Nebraska today. You might be wondering, where is Redington at? Somewhere in the Panhandle, David. David Schuler, 3rd generation on the Schuler Red Angus Ranch, is our guest today. Thanks for the time, David.
Well, I'm glad you came. Thanks for coming this far.
Redington, near Bayard, Bridgeport. Which one do you call home?
Well, I went to school in Bayard, but my wife is the educator in Bridgeport, so I got to play both fields on this one. I probably will never wear the purple and gold colors, but I'll support her.
Got the rivalry still going?
Pretty hard, yeah.
You've got an interesting story. You and I, obviously, friends. A lot of our viewers will know that. But your story has been told by a lot of people. Let's quick set the stage, though, of what is and who is Schuler Red Angus.
Yeah, so Schuler Red Angus, I'd be the 3rd generation of a seed stock Red Angus producer. Started by my grandma and grandpa back in the 80s when we bought our first Red Angus cattle from the Leachman Cattle Company up in Montana, and been trying to make it in this space for 42 years now of an annual production bull sale. Supplying genetics to mostly commercial cattlemen in the Sandhills in Wyoming, Kansas, right here at this ranch. Everything's home raised. We all do it ourselves. We're cow-calf first. We're cowboys and cowgirls just like everyone else, and we just like to be proud of our breed that we have and proud of our genetics, and hope to better make more efficient cattle for our customers.
For a typical ranch today, a lot of our listeners will know some of these things, but help us out just to get the 101 established. How does a typical ranch make money, and how does that compare to the strategy of somebody like Schuler Red Angus?
Yeah, so the bread and butter that's been around for hundreds of years is you take your calf crop and you harvest it once a year, and you take it to the local sale barn, and you would take that money, and that would be your budget for the rest of the year, and that's the dry bones of it. And since then, we've been able to make more marketing strategies towards those calves, have them all calve in the spring and sell them in the fall, or what have you. And then my job as a seed stock producer is to keep bettering our genetics, just like we would with like corn or soybeans. We're trying to make efficient cattle. We're trying to make them better from conception to consumption. And how we do that is through genetic progress and being hard on our cattle and making sure they can be the most optimum they can be for the range that they're on. And that's what I would hope to be trusted with in our bulls and our heifers, where we would make our money by selling bulls, selling semen, selling replacement heifers in that space. I'm doing the same job my customers are doing. A lot of them are really good friends, and it's an interesting deal.
How long have you guys been doing a production sale, and how did it get started? How has it evolved to where it is today?
Yeah, so there's all those. Let's just start with this. The average age of a seed stock operation business is about 11 months. So if you get past 11 months, you've done a good job.
Say that again. The average
duration? Duration,
okay.
Yeah. Duration of a seed stock ranch is 11 months. So if you get past the first year, you've done something, half have not.
Why do so many fail?
It's so hard to get a client base. Everyone else is buying bulls and heifers or supplying their own genetics for years. You're trying to get their trust. They're buying from the people, not the product usually. And it just takes so much input at the very beginning, so much exposure to make it happen. And we were lucky with at our ranch and our business in the 80s. I mean, the red-headed stepchild of Red Angus was in, let's say, late 80s, early 90s, was the 17th largest breed in the nation. I can't name 17 breeds of cows on the top of my head. So these are the stories that I was told before I was around, but we had to go a long ways to sell cattle. We had to go to Florida, go to Texas, Kansas. Really hard to sell one locally. And because we made some relationships with some ranches down in Florida, we sold most of our bulls on trucks to Florida. Through time, now Red Angus is tied for 2 or maybe 3rd largest cattle species. And now we can sell them locally. We can sell 1 or 2 here and there. Most of our bulls leave in trailers that fit 3 or 4 bulls. And we have a lot of customers of that nature. We don't sell many truckloads now. We still have those few cattle ranches, but those beginning years, those 10, 12 years, 15 years, allowed us to be established enough to build our clientele, to buy us time, really, to be in this space. And 42, 43 years now of having an annual production bull sale through droughts, through fires. It's something I'm proud of. I'm proud of the work that was done before me to get here. And I can't wait to figure out what it's going to take to be another 40 years and what's it going to look like.
As you mentioned, you weren't here some of those early days of the bull sale and the production sale.
Yeah.
As your dad's talked about those days and building the brand to what it is now, what were some of the key strategies involved?
Well, finding Susan, that was number one. Mom and Dad are a tag team that's been around since the beginning. And that's first, is how do you make it generational? What can you do to allow this income to be big enough to your kids can come back? The strategies they had, it was not relying on one day of the year to get all the income, whether that's finding FSA payments, whether that's trying ways to like I said, raise cattle or rent out land. They figured out all those things to make their income diversified throughout the year and not just relying on that one paycheck. And that was the biggest thing probably. And through the 90s and then the early 2000s when, I can't remember much. I just remember it being real dry. That was a huge part of my childhood. It didn't rain from 2000 to 2010 really. And we brought in every day a truckload of dry milk just to feed our cattle. I remember that very specifically. So they had to figure out how to feed cattle in this area without the natural feedstuffs. They had to figure out how to market the red-headed stepchild, if you will. We've outgrown that, obviously, hopefully. And I'm very proud of what they've done, the grit they took to make it happen. What they learned from their parents and their grandparents to their great-grandparents, I hope that I can keep that going.
To see the rest of this interview, you can find the story on kneb.com or the kneb.tv YouTube channel. We'll have more news right after this.
Looking for free instead of fees? Platte Valley Bank can help you keep your finances moving forward with no ATM fees. Whether you're headed to the lake, the mountains, or just to the grocery store, you can enjoy the freedom of free ATM access anywhere, anytime. Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
When it comes to your health, you deserve the very best. At Morrill County Community Hospital, they provide top-notch care with compassion and expertise. From routine checkups to advanced surgeries, their dedicated team is here for you 24/7. With state-of-the-art technology and a patient-first approach, they ensure you and your loved ones receive the highest quality care. Because at Morrill County Community Hospital, your health is their priority. Visit Morrill County Community Hospital today in Bridgeport. Morrill County Community Hospital. Exceptional care right here at home.
Welcome back. Nebraska Attorney General Mike Hilgers was joined by Senators Kathleen Kauth and Tanya Storer announcing two new pieces of priority legislation for his office. Kauth is sponsoring a bill that would clarify that all synthetic cannabinoids, such as Delta-8, are illegal to help stop the influx of dangerous products being sold as hemp, while still allowing CBD products to be possessed and used. Hilger said some progress has been made fighting against the sale of those substances, but more needs to be done, and it can go one of two ways.
The first path that's open to us, and the path that I think will be a win-win for the state, is Senator Kauth's bill, which will show once and for all that these products are illegal and that they should be taken off the shelves. If that passes, I think it'll do it in a way that won't take a lot of these stores offline, won't put them out of business, and will give them the clarity that they think they need in order to operate within the law. If that doesn't pass, we are going to dramatically increase the scope, size, and speed of our litigation campaign, which will unfortunately cost more taxpayer dollars, will take more resources, and unfortunately also will create more pain for the stores themselves.
Storer will help carry a bill aimed at helping provide additional resources to help law enforcement assist those experiencing an active mental health crisis. That measure will create a pilot program directing the Crime Commission to select county law enforcement agencies that would be authorized to add mental health beds to existing jail facilities or utilize another local facility to temporarily house individuals entered into emergency protective custody. Well, Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen this week announced that flags at the state capitol and all other state buildings will be raised to full staff on Monday for the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump. Flags are currently flying at half staff across the country due to the death of former President Jimmy Carter. Pillen says the official installation of a president is a historic day in the calendar of our nation and should be recognized as such, adding that having the flag at full staff symbolizes the respect to that office and our nation's newly elected leader. Flags will fly at full staff from sunrise until sunset on Inauguration Day. The following morning, flags will return to half staff, resuming the honor to former President Jimmy Carter. And for the 16th time in the past 17 months, the overall Rural Main Street Index sank below the 50.0 reading in January, according to the monthly survey of bank CEOs in rural areas of a 10-state region dependent on ag or energy. The overall reading for January increased to a weak 42.3 from December's 39.6. On average, bankers expect approximately 1 in 5 grain farmers to experience negative cash flow for 2025. Creighton economist Ernie Goss says despite another one-year extension of the Farm Bill and $20.8 billion in farm disaster relief, the farm economic outlook remained weak for the first half of 2025. However, he said grain prices have recently improved, but not enough for profitability for many producers. Goss said, on the other hand, regional livestock producers continue to experience solid prices, thus maintaining profitability.
I imagined retirement in a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, so much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
We've got a couple of events we want to highlight for you. First up, the Eastern Nebraska Corn and Soybean Expo is happening next week on January 23rd in Fremont, Nebraska. This event combines the Fremont Corn Expo with the Nebraska Soybean Day and Machinery Expo into one event focused on both crops. During your time there, you can learn from a variety of speakers and vendors about important topics as we gear up for another growing season.
It's a good program just to come get some, where we're at, what's going to be some things that we should look at for 2025. We're going to touch on some precision ag, some disease management, kind of a market outlook, and then also some updates on TAPS and on-farm research. So we've got a variety of speakers. So we've got Tamara Jackson, Zims, talking about corn diseases. We saw, some tar spot keep continuing to creep into the state. So what are we looking at there? We've got Joe Luck talking about precision ag. There's some updates to some fertilizer recommendations. Also have a grower panel, so going to share what they've learned from participating in TAPS, which is our Testing Ag Performance Solutions. So just trying to share, what have they seen, what have they learned from competing in that competition. So variety of speakers, a variety of vendors to visit, and also have commodity groups there, so both corn and soybean groups will be there. So it's always a good opportunity to kind of, touch base with them. The other thing, we have a free breakfast sponsored by the Fremont Chamber. So we have the Waffle Men providing waffles. Also have complimentary lunch. Kind of a good opportunity, hear some talks, talk to some people you might be doing some business with, get a free meal out of it as well.
To review, the Eastern Nebraska Corn and Soybean Expo will be held Thursday, January 23rd from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. in Fremont, Nebraska. If you're interested in more information on this event, you can reach out directly to the organizers. We'll post all their information over online at marketjournal.unl.edu.
Are new windows from Renewal by Andersen a great investment? You're darn right they are. Did you know that for less than your cable bill or cell phone bill each month, you could have new windows from Renewal by Andersen right now? Do the math. Renewal by Andersen windows will likely cut your energy bills significantly. They will likely substantially increase the value of your home. They're a great investment. Please contact our team now and ask about our fantastic financing options with approved credit right now. Renewal by Andersen, a great investment? You're darn right.
Let's take a peek at your weekend community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
You deserve to have a building that will last for generations. With more than 110 years of experience and thousands of satisfied customers, Morton Buildings is the industry leader you can trust. If you're planning for a garage, farm shop, horse barn, storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, there's no better time to buy. Contact your local Morton sales office or visit mortonbuildings.com to get started today.
Tired of feeling stuck? Not sure if you are on the right track? Platte Valley Bank can help keep your finances moving forward with checking account options to fit your lifestyle and an online account chooser to make finding the right account easy. Control your financial future with helpful budgeting tools and automatic savings plans. Now is the time to enjoy the ride with Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
And finally tonight, the Nebraska legislature paused for a few moments on Thursday as Blair Senator Ben Hansen offered a tribute to a young man who touched many lives.
Many of you might remember little Jack Hoffman running a 69-yard touchdown and inspiring many people throughout the country about the fight for pediatric brain cancer. Yesterday, tragically, he passed away at the age of 19. His father also passed away, I believe, about 4 years ago from brain cancer as well. So I think sometimes when we sit here on the floor and argue and fight and bicker about little things, sometimes we hope we can do something as important what Jack Hoffman did with just a small touchdown run.
The Team Jack Foundation, founded by Jack Hoffman's parents after his brain cancer diagnosis at the age of 5, continues to work worldwide to find a cure for childhood brain cancer. Since 2013, the foundation has raised more than $12 million towards research. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Stay warm out there. See you back here on Monday.